as well. Family First Funding, we got Javier and Joe here today. These guys aren't just your typical loan officers. These guys believe in, putting their money where their mouth is. With me going out there, they support me to come out and help people, train, teach, coach, and help you guys with these presentations. Because let's face it, this stuff doesn't come at no cost. There's a cost to everything we do, our time, right? So sometimes we have to look at, who helps support our business in turn to hopefully help support theirs. So I want to give a big thanks to these guys and the Family First Funding for making this happen. So make sure you connect with these guys later today on other things we can help you with, training systems we have access to. They have all access to everything that I have. So if you need more or want more, make sure you see these two guys if you don't mind. Thank you. Okay, so these guys, we're good? Yep. All right, so for the live stream, Jeff Lobb. Today I want to talk about a couple things. While, I have the pleasure of speaking all over the place. I deal with a lot of teams, a lot of agents, both new and experienced, and I've watched a lot of people really grow in this business. I've watched a lot of people really fail in this business, and it's not fun sometimes. I've been in the business since 1988, and I have a few gray hairs to show it, just for the record. They're starting to pop in a little bit more nowadays, How many of you have been in the business for a while, though? I know we have a bunch of new agents, but anybody that's here would consider themselves a veteran a little bit? How many years, if you don't mind me asking? 20, good for you. In the back, where were you? How many years about?
6 this month.
6, fantastic, good. So I want to ask you, how many agents in the room are part-time? Part-time agents? Couple? Okay. Full-time agents? Majority. So let me ask you, what's the difference? How do we even define that? What's the difference? Why are we even saying we're part-time or full-time? What defines that? Having another job? A full-time job. So a full-time job. Yet I know people that are having full-time jobs that are in real estate making $120,000, $130,000 a year in real estate. Is that part-time? It's part-time. So I just don't want to classify us sometimes, because sometimes that hurts us a little bit from our reputation. It's great that you have maybe another job and you're doing both, but at the same time, you have the ability to earn and make whatever you want in this business. It's not about time sometimes. We don't get paid for our time in real estate, do we? No, we get paid for value and results. We don't generate results, we don't generate income. However, the quicker you could generate results, part-time or not, if you want to use those definitions, we still can hit our goals and have our business plan and make those numbers. So I don't care how many hours a week you put in, it's just, are we getting the result? Part of what I do for a living is help people get results. And it doesn't come easy. There's no magic pill, there's no secret to this stuff, I promise you. But what I want to share with you today are a few of the things that I put together over my career that has made me have more wins than losses. And I've had losses. I'm okay to share that with you. I've been through a couple big market shifts. A couple times I didn't pivot quick enough. Now I pivot and move a lot faster. So markets change, don't they? So what? Who cares? Don't get caught up in the media and all the stuff about a market change or the next depression or the next. People will still buy and sell real estate. When people are moving and buying and selling, there's opportunity. You just have to have more of those opportunities. So don't get caught up in the media about something being bad or negative. Real estate transactions happen in all markets. You just have to know where to focus and spend your time and how you're going to spend it and with whom. Fair enough? Don't get caught up walking out here with hearing all the stuff in the media. I've made a lot of money in changing markets. I don't like to say down or up. Changing markets. So, a few things I tied this presentation back to was one of the problems I had in the business. I had a problem with cash flow. Can you imagine cash flow being a problem in real estate? How many do this? Like, this is how I provide for my family. Who provides for their family with real estate right now? Right? Does anybody care what kind of day you're having? Is the mortgage company going to say, hey, you didn't have 2 closings yet this month, so just skip it? Right? That doesn't happen. Never happened with me. So I made a living at this for a long time, both running offices and an agent and wearing a couple different hats. And what I had to learn is I had to get more cash flow coming in more consistently so that I didn't have those problems. And there is still a flux, but I want to share with you where some of this presentation came from, was from one of the oldest books that's been out there when it talks about wealth. And you've probably heard it or maybe you've read it, is the wealthiest people in the world, and you've seen the books talking about multiple streams of income. Right? You should have multiple streams, meaning if this one has a problem, I'm getting this one coming in. Most people that have wealth have multiple sources, multiple streams. That being said, real estate hasn't changed with all this tech and marketing, and sometimes I get put in a tech box because I used to be the vice president of a company that I had a tech title. And technology to me doesn't matter at all. if it doesn't help solve a problem, or if it doesn't come easy enough for me to help make a better experience for my customer. Tech doesn't matter. Except real estate's never changed when it came to people. Still to this day, all the tech in the world, it's still based on people. Knowing that, I said to myself, well, I still have to find ways to leverage all this tech and marketing, but I needed more streams of people. And I'm going to define what I mean by more streams. You guys were starting to talk about it, go down that rabbit hole a little bit with some BNI stuff and some other things. We're going to dive into that because I'm going to tell you how all the tech in the world, and I could be pretty techy and pretty savvy with stuff, but some of this is going to come back to some really core foundational things to make your cash flow better. And then I will tie into some other ways we can tie in some marketing and social to bring this better. So I needed more streams of people. And more specifically, I had to find, in my world, at least 7 streams. And I'm going to identify what that means. I'm going to give you a very clear definition. And I use kind of like a little nature to kind of share this with you, very visual. So here's the typical real estate agent during the sales cycle. You know, you're up there on the mountain, you're doing your business, you're trying to do your stuff. And our sales cycle and our revenue cycle has the peaks and valleys. These are the pain points right there. You know, you had a closing, something happens, you have a fall through, things you can't control happen, right? And some of us are one step away from off that cliff. You are literally right there. You know, you put 2 or 3 transactions into the pipeline, and what starts to happen? You're praying that these 2 or 3 things close. You're spending all your time on these transactions, and you had 3, 4, or 5 working. 2 fell apart. You get it all squared away and done. They closed, and then you realize, holy cow, I got nothing else going for the next 2 months or 3 or longer. That's the pain. So we stop doing some things when we get transactions in the works. The best thing a transaction can do for you is create leverage. Praying for deals and stuff to happen isn't going to help you. Momentum, having those things in the pipeline. So for example, when I get a listing, my job is to sell that home. But what else does that listing give me? Leverage. Who just said it? Glad you heard it. Leverage. Understand that. When you have leverage, you have power. Meaning, I now have something to go to market with. I now have permission to market it, my brand, myself, hold open houses, post Facebook, advertising, all sorts of things with that one piece of property. Yes, my fiduciary responsibility is to sell that thing. Get it done, highest amount of money. But I just got leverage. And most of us don't spend enough time getting enough advertising and exposure out of one listing. Some people used to joke with me all the time because I used to get yelled at a lot. In some areas, depending on your towns, they limit sometimes how much signage you can put up. And other towns don't care so much. How many signs do you think I put up for one listing when I had a listing? As many as I could. Most of the time, 6. 6. Did that cost me some extra money? Yep. Did I lose a few signs? Yep. People steal them, knock them down, take them out. Yes. All yeses. But when I had 6 or 5 signs per listing, and I had 5 listings in that neighborhood, there wasn't a block or a corner you couldn't go by where you didn't see, this guy Jeff's all over the place. I see him all over the place. Sometimes only 2 or 3 listings, I see him all over the place. Does that help your reputation in town? They see you all over the place. What do a few extra signs cost? See, if I didn't have the listings, I had no leverage. Can't just put signs on the ground. I mean, you could, theoretically, but not ethically. There's nothing to put the sign in the ground for. So that's how you leverage things. Leverage builds momentum. First word that comes to your mind when you see this guy right there. What are you thinking if you're him? Say it. Struggle? I don't know if I'd say struggle. What would you say? You're the man on the bike right now. What are you saying? Uphill battle? What was your? Keep going.
Going to the top.
How about don't stop. Don't stop. This poor guy stops. Not only is he going backwards, God knows what's at the bottom of the hill, right? But that sometimes is our real estate career every quarter of the year. We stop. We stop doing the things that make us the most money. We focus on all the wrong things because we need the transactions to close. We need it, like we've probably already spent the money, right? I planned on having that $3,000 or $4,000. I need it probably last month. It's gone already. So we focus too much on the wrong stuff. The most thing you need to focus on are the activities that get you 3 more transactions and 4 more transactions. And that's the work. It is work. So I want to make sure you understand this. So let me define what I call a stream. And this isn't like a book or anything. It's just my theory of what worked for me. Okay? It could work for you for sure because I know it's proven. A stream. I define a stream as a group of people that provide you referrals or good lead sources on a continuous basis. Continuous basis. So a group of people that provide you a lead source continuously on an ongoing basis. Okay, that's what I call a good moving stream. Now, we might have other groups of people we're connected to that don't provide that. And I want to define this, and if you do have a pad or an iPhone or whatever it is, take a few notes, because I want you to think about and count who is a good stream in your business right now. And when I have to put money on this, if I'm sitting at the table right now at blackjack, I'm putting my money on, you probably have a few good ones, but not enough. Okay? So that's where I'm going to define it. Now, I'm using the definition, I'm showing you some nature pictures because streams are stale. I'll give you an example of one that was stale for me in my business. The most obvious stream of people I thought was a given was my core sphere of influence. We hear it all the time. Well, I got my sphere. Well, my sphere wasn't giving me monthly leads or referrals. It just wasn't. I wasn't working it. People didn't know enough about me. I made an assumption. Do we make assumptions sometimes about our groups of people we talk to? My own brother, and I know I'm live streaming, I don't care if he hears this, didn't buy his home for me. We can't make assumptions that they're just going to give us the business, right? I love them. So sometimes we have groups of people, or streams I want to call them, that are stale. Others, I want you to know, are really powerful. The ones that constantly provide that pipeline for us. And I'm not saying it has to be 3 or 4 or 5 a month, but continuous enough to give me working opportunities, right? Powerful. Water moves anything. I use water because it's a powerful thing. That's why I named it streams. You've seen some powerful things happen, whether it be bad or good in this world, that happen with water. So we've got the powerful things. When I start to look at the streams and I get referral sources or I'm getting lead sources that are more than I've ever had, now my business has less gaps and valleys, right? It starts to cure that problem. Because a lot of times all these streams lead to one thing, my business. It all funnels to one place, opportunity for me to create more transactions. So that being said, here's the cure, and here's what we want to cure. We have that problem. I want to kind of build that bridge a little bit where you're still going to have some staggering parts, but just not as deep. That's the cure for it, right? This goes for the mortgage business too. This doesn't change anywhere. This is sales. And a lot of us weren't trained in sales. It wasn't what we got into. However, the same cycle exists. So one thing I found out is some of the biggest pieces of Mother Nature in our country all have the same theory. Never knew it until I dove into it. You guys recognize all of those, right? Almost all of them. 7 in total. 7. All lead to one powerful source. Where is it? Where does it all lead? All of this power goes to one source. All lead to Niagara. If you've been there, you see how crazy, ridiculously powerful that is. How do I envision this in our business? Let me go back a second. All of these are streams of potential opportunity, let's call them, in our business. This one's giving me 2 or 3 leads a month. This one's giving me 2 referrals a month. This one's providing me 5. Those are the powerful ones, all coming to one place, which to me, that's your top producer. And that's not a secret. I work with people who make 100, I coach people that do 100 million a year in transactions. I have some that only do 10 million a year. Neither one of them is better than the other. But here's what the common thing is. They all have the same 8, 10, 12 hours a day you do. They all have the same MLS, the same kind of website opportunities, the same everything pretty much, other than maybe a shift in price point of your market. Some might be $300,000 homes, some might be 800. Still doesn't matter. They're doing transactions. They have the same time. The same time. See, time is fair. You all have the same amount of it, right? You don't get like less time. I mean, unless we're talking about something futuristically with our own lives itself, but day-to-day business, y'all have the same amount. What they do at their time and what we do with our time sometimes is totally different. Who we spend it with and the opportunities we spend it with is totally different. So this is the top producer in my world. So I'll give you a quick snapshot. That overhead right there seems like just an overhead of Google Maps. It's not even fancy. That visual is what got me into my real estate career. So what you don't know, a little of my backstory, a lot of people don't know actually, but prior to me getting into real estate, I was in college. Actually, a little surreal for me today because I went to Kane University, Kane College prior to university, right here where we're speaking today, right next to campus, right? And just during my years, before I got into real estate, I was actually working in a sales role, young kid, in the Caribbean islands, in St. Martin and Aruba. And I flew Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, well, Wednesday down to St. Martin, worked till Sunday, fly back, all out of Newark Airport for a gentleman who had a radio show here in New Jersey, and I helped sell advertising for him in the Caribbean islands. Now that sounds glamorous and that's awesome. I mean, I was running around like, 20 years old in a suit in the Caribbean islands when it's 100 degrees. I knew nobody when I got there. It was a really door-knocking opportunity. You couldn't teach me how to do that job. That's something I had to go learn how to do. And did I face failures and doors closed? Sure. But I learned quickly how I better build some relationships, especially being on an island by yourself, literally. Right? No one was going with me. I went by myself. And I hustled, and I flew back and forth. I did my homework on planes. All that being said, every time I took off, I'd be looking down out that window, and I would see that. And I'd go, holy crap, look how many rooftops. Look how many subdivisions. Look how many developments. Like, look at all the inventory for real estate. And real estate was kind of in my blood a little bit. I had that thought. When I kept seeing the opportunity, I'm like, holy crap, every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they're selling their home. How are we not in this business? And it sounds really simple, but I still get caught up in that. When I look down today, I still look at the opportunity. It's what got me going. The problem is how do I talk to all them people? How do I get to know them? Because your market's probably much more dense too. You can look at a lot more rooftops. But realistically is it a safe and true statement if I said every one of these people in 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, or 30 years are probably going to sell their home? And they know at least probably 100 or 200 other people who they could refer you to that are going to sell their home. So how do you get to know them? That's the hard part of the business. How many of you have a decent database, or any database? Let's just start there. Any database. Okay. Who wants to share with me about how many are in it? Guess. 40. Okay, good. Small, dense database. What if next year you're at 200, 300 people in that database? What happens to your real estate business? It should grow, shouldn't it? And what's the only thing we did? Talk to more people. Because last time I checked, 99.5% of the people we stand in line in at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or Quick Check or Kmart or Walmart or wherever we are, live in, own, or rent a home. They're there. So we just need to know more people. I don't care how much technology in the world. Technology's only changed how we communicate with people, how we find them, how we talk to them, how we do all this stuff, how we market to them. That's all that's changed it. But we still got to find more people that like us and trust us. And they will give you one of their largest assets to sell if they do. Right? So we like referral business. For those of us that get referrals, we love referrals. However, people can't give you referrals if they don't know you. So I don't think about how many people do I get to know. I always face the challenge. How many people don't know me? That's my battle. How many people don't know me? There's a lot. But if I focus on that core and find my farm area, my market area, I need to get more people to know me. And we're going to talk about some of them, but we got to figure out where they are. Where do they go? Where do they shop? What are they doing? And I got some ideas for you. I'm going to share with you on that, not just theory. So what I thought I would do first to give you some good core base, share with you my 7 streams that worked for me. I don't want you to have the same. I want you to think about the ones that are providing consistent streams of referral or lead sources that are converting, right? Draw the line. If you have a stream that's not giving you that, write it down on a separate side note. Okay? My first one I told you was my sphere, but it was not a good stream. I had to work at it. What did I have to do? My own friends and family and cousins and people that outreach. Sometimes we're not as close as families as we used to be back in the day. All this technology sometimes drives us apart, you know. However, some of it can drive us back together by being able to communicate. But they don't know I'm in real estate. They don't remember what I do. How do you help your sphere? I'm not just talking about like your brother, sister, mother, father. How do you get your core sphere to know and remind them that you're in the business? Call them. Sure. Remind them that way. Call them. What else? Promote yourself. When you make sure they have your cards. Like I have cousins. I have a lot of cousins. We were just talking about some of my cousins now, right? They're small world, right? They're nearby these towns here. But let's say I sold real estate up in Sussex County. That's an hour away. Do they know day in and day out what I'm doing? No. They have a busy life too. And how many people they might talk to at work or here or there, hey, I'm looking to sell my house. I don't care what town or state it's in. I can refer people. I can still consult with them. And I should be a referral source. But if they don't know or it's not top of mind to them, I lose. It's my own core sphere I neglected. I had to work at it. But in turn, with work, I got them to start giving me referral business. I started getting top of mind. Number 2 for me, we heard it earlier, and it doesn't have to be yours. I want you to think about yours. For me, it was a BNI group back then. Okay, BNI was good for me. It was work. I know how many of you love to get up at 6 in the morning to be at breakfast for 7. I can see your eyes and your face, and you're like, not me. Nope. And I don't care if you can't get into your BNI group, don't make that an excuse. Go find another one. Go start one. Find a chapter, create your own, or find another stream. Doesn't have to be just that. But here's what I looked at it. We had 20 or 30 people in my group, and I don't care what name, BNI or anything, Latip, whatever you want to call it at the time, to see all 30 of them at one time. And last time I checked, those 30 people have a lot of connections to a lot of people. So if it works for me and it becomes a solid stream, great, but it took work. They didn't just give me referrals just because. They had to trust me. They had to still like who I was. I had to still sell myself. And if it wasn't that group, I had to found another one. Because that group, that stream, is different than my core sphere, right? It's different. Different group of people. So where else was a different group of people? So I had my sphere, one group, my BNI, 30, 40 members, different group. For me, it was another type of group. Now, this is going back a little bit, too, but one of the things my wife even got involved after the fact was HTEF, was Hampton Township Education Foundation. Some of you are like, what the heck's that? I didn't know what it was either. In our school, my kids were in elementary school, there was a foundation created for raising money for that if the school could not afford something like a project or a trip they wanted to do in their budget, the foundation was able to create revenue to potentially award money to the teachers or the school to do the things that were more valuable to the children. How cool is that? Think about it. Who's that stream? If I'm in the Hampton Township Education Foundation, who am I talking to weekly, monthly? Teachers, the leadership, the parents, the things that we're doing to raise money. Does that put me in front of a good group of people? Now, I'm not there for leads. It's not why I signed up. Really good thing to do. Made me feel good to be able to go, you need a new microscope system for your class, for this? We're going to award you $1,000 here. Go buy it. We spent the time raising money. So it was a good thing. But did that put me in front of a whole new group of people I wasn't connected to? Yeah, absolutely, right? Huge group. Fantastic thing to do. So it's another source of those people. For me, fourth, one of my most valuable resources was a hobby. And we all have them, but we have to work them. So out in Sussex County, pretty rural out there, I do a lot of archery shooting, 3D shooting. I'm an outdoor kind of guy. I had no idea there was this archery group called Appalachian Bowmen. It wasn't just men. It was 50, 60 people, men, women, kids, all ages. All ages. We had some women that were 70 years old out there just jeans and sneakers and loving archery and shooting. That was her thing. And I joined it. It was great for my kids. We did stuff on like Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights. It was out in the middle of a barn, in the middle of a field. Who cares? It's what we did. For the first 3 months, they had no idea I was even real estate. Didn't care. I wasn't there for that. Till one day I showed up with my uniform, let's call it, my branding, showed up with it. I was rushing from an appointment because I wanted to make the time. And the guys were like, you're in real estate? You're in real estate? Yeah, I've been in real estate. And I was trying to like blow them off, like, let's get going. I'm late, sorry. Man, I'm telling you, once it lit up, because guess what happened after 3 months of being there already? What happened? They already liked and trusted me. I was already part of their culture. There was no need for any of that. There wasn't, from that time forward, a week or month that went by without someone after the session's done and we're done shooting, I'm walking out to our car. Hey man, you got a few minutes? I want to pick your brain on some things. My mom's got a house. She's getting a little older. I need to know some advice on what to do with it. Can we sit and grab some coffee? That's a good source. Those are the best conversations to ever have. You're of value to them. You can help advise them. They liked and trusted me already. I advise them properly all the time. So those are that source, different than Sphere, BNI, different than school, was a ridiculous value to bring opportunities to me more consistently. So think about, again, write them down. Where's your streams? Next stream was sports. A whole different animal. Sporting parents are very interesting, very aggressive. But that's okay, I'm aggressive too. I like to win. I coached kids, still do. I took my one son and kid all the way up to college. He's playing some college ball now. So that's great. Did I stop? No, I go all the way back down to my youngest son, because I have 6 children, back to 3rd and 4th grade lacrosse. I put my time in. Now, I'm not doing it for leads. I'm not even in real estate. I teach, coach, and train. However, I still love the passion of coaching. I still like what I do. Is that a group of people? Yeah, huge group of people. To sponsor something for $300, to put your time in to that group of parents and kids and help their children elevate themselves. And you might say, well, I don't have kids. I can't participate in that. Baloney. Go down. I'm a head coach for a little 3rd and 4th grade team. Come ask me if you want to volunteer your time with me on practices and on game day. I'll find something for you to do. All day long, I'll introduce you to my team. You want to show up in your jeans and sneakers and help? I have stuff for anyone who wants to help my team. By all means. And it's okay if you work for a company that you want to promote yourself internally. So it's a give and give situation. This type of thing, football, lacrosse, whatever it is, whether you have children, grandchildren, or not, you could participate in it. But it's going to take some time. That's called work, though, right? It's called work. So I did this for years. That was a good stream for me. Others, this was a strategy I had. I actually sat down and said, what groups of people do I not have any real good affiliation with? Like, just where do I need a group? Where do I need a stream? One I identified, and this was part of our planning, business planning, was I didn't have a lot of affiliation with our core town hall, like our, the town stuff, right? That just wasn't where I was connected. I'm not politically connected there. I knew other than the fire inspector and the smoke cert guy or gal. That's all I knew. So I walked in. At the time, I owned a brokerage. So I still was selling real estate as an owner. Walked into town hall one day, and I literally just said to them, hey, I'm Jeff Lobb with XYZ Real Estate Company. I'm looking to find ways to get involved in the town organization, stuff you guys are doing. What do you guys do that I could volunteer for? And she looked at me like I had 6 heads. She's like, you want to do what? I'm like, I just want to volunteer. Like, what do you have? You have programs or projects? Like, run a few by me. Like, it sounded crazy. I didn't know. So she ran a few things off of me, like, they have a soup kitchen, which is cool. I do that on holidays. But she said to me, she goes, well, you could be part of the food. They had a name for it, food drive something. What's that? Well, she goes, let me show you. She took me to this like garage area. It was really nice. Shelves and shelves of food and organization and stuff. Like, I didn't even know it had it. So how does this work? She goes, well, we need, she goes, it's funny, we need a food drive coordinator. We need someone to host, a place where the public or consumers could bring food during certain times of the year. We accumulate it all. We put it in. We have certain people that are needy, that need help in the town and community with children. And we have a system that disperses food. So what did I hear? I said, you need a place, a physical location for consumers and the public to come to. I own a brokerage. How many people were walking in my door going, hey, is Jeff Lobb here? What's the name of this place again? How many people walking in your door every day looking for a place to put something? We had, the traffic has slowed down significantly. My doors were open. Hey, you know what? We are going to be the food drive coordinator store location. I want to invite, advertise, bring the public in, put out coffee and stuff for them to donate. Like, we want them to come here to us so that we can help do this thing. You know how many people just met, didn't even know our office was there? Oh my God, how long have you guys been here? I haven't been here ever. Great, come on in. Hey, we're just collecting food. Like, that's the value. I don't care if you're an agent or broker owner. It doesn't matter. You're the brand, in the brand. So create that. To me, it was and it felt so good to do that, knowing how valuable it was to the people who needed help. It was really appreciated. That happened. And then last for me became, well, you all know social media. That evolved, right? It became another stream of source for me because I was able to reach different people, different groups, and connect. Right? So those were my 7. There were probably 5 or 6 others I had that just weren't considered a valuable stream. Right? So I want to open this up to you guys. I want you to give me a couple streams that are working for you. How many do you have? How many do you need? Who wants to go? How many you got? Oh, you're probably pretty connected. Investing. So an investment stream. So do you meet with a group of investors?
Louis, why don't you grab this mic, buddy?
Oh, hey, we got that microphone thing.
Do I meet with investors from time to time?
Or do you have a group, or how do you connect? How does that stream work for you? You just have investors funneling business to you?
No. What I mean when investing is like I'll buy rental properties and I'll live off some of the rental income. That's
gotcha.
A stream.
So you so you have a stream coming in through investment properties and
Correct.
rental income. It's fantastic. Who has a stream? I'm sorry, we'll get the mic back to you because they want to make sure it's on. It's important. And while you're doing this, think about some you have and also count how many are good streams that are strong and not so much.
Other than the ones that you mentioned, Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else? Think about something else. Where do you not have right now? In your community, town, area, where do you have a place you could find people that gather, meet, or create? Where could it be? So here's the question to ask yourself. Remember I said, I always try and find out not just who I know, it's who do I not know. That's the important part. So if I went to the school system, I don't care, pick your school, whoever it is. I went to the principals, hey, do you know, what's your name? Roe? Roe. Hey, do you know Roe so-and-so and last name? There I go, who? Do you know, who do you not know? So if you don't know them, find a way to go meet them. Find something to do with them, in conjunction with them, help them, and bring them value. Because A, you sell the community, but you should also be part of the community. When you're part of it, they all get to know you. That's the business of real estate. So find those places.
Volunteer in a political party.
Volunteer in a political party. And if you're a political person, that's your thing, huge opportunity, right? So you just went through some of that with a re-election or an election of a mayor, right?
Yes.
So getting those connections and also a lot of public-facing figures. Who else wants to share one more? Right here? I'm sorry, I'll get you the way.
Most towns have a newcomers committee, like where they welcome new members to the town.
Okay.
And sometimes they want their family members to move to the town. That's a great resource, I think.
Sure. And some of you might be going, oh, you know, short-minded. Here's the first reaction of a typical real estate agent. Well, they're newcomers. They just moved. They just moved. Darn right they do. First of all, A, starter home, you can build that really. B, did their agent do a good enough job that they're satisfied and thrilled they would use them again? Because sometimes not so much. And C, they have other referral sources for you. We don't care. We're there to be connected to people, move, not move, whatever the relationship is. Smart idea. Yes. I'll do one more with them. Where's that microphone at? Oh, there. Okay. Yes. And now I'll come to you. Yeah. Go ahead.
The two that I use are church and my school's PTO.
Church is fantastic. School PTO, fantastic stream. Now, are they streams that honestly are providing you with a source of referrals? And it's okay, listen, it's okay to be part of a church and you're not there for leads. So that doesn't say leave your church, they're not giving you leads. That's wrong. Don't take that message. You go to where you go because you go there. But I want you to look at your business as, look, you could have church, you could have PTA. All that stuff is awesome if you still have 6 or 7 streams somewhere else too. I don't care. I want you to make sure you're not taking this and misconstruing the message. There's places I go, I don't care if I get a lead, but if I do, it's great. I just don't count it as a stream. I'm there for my own family, my own personal mental state, whatever it might be. So who has 3 streams that are solid? Let's just put hands up. Let's go there first. I want to see, go 3, 4, 5. 3 streams that are solid. 4 streams that are solid. 5 streams that are solid. 6? No 6s? No 7s. So we're going down. 3. So we're going down from 3 streams, 2 streams that are solid. Is anybody else here in this business? We in the business of real estate? 1 stream that's solid. All right. So guess what? The answer is simple. There's your direction. Go find more people. And I'm going to show you some ways that's easy to find people. Okay? The work is still hard. The business is work. But I want to show you some easier ways that might get some of the fear factor out, the conversations to start, kind of the how-to a little bit about, all right, what are some ways I can get connected to people a little easier? While there's probably a lot of them, I want to share a few of how I would spin them, how some of my clients would use them or are doing it. I like to talk about things that I know that either I have done, I've tried, or I've got clients doing it, not just a theory. I don't need theory today. I want stuff that either, and I want you to take an idea and make it your own. My way is not just either the right way or the only way. Make it your own. You're your own brand. So the one thing with social, we get so caught up in this thing, and some of you are like, oh, it's another thing I got to do. No, it's not. All social media is today's marketing. It's today's consumers' eyeballs and attention. Just like when I started in 1988, the consumers' eyeballs were one place or 2 places. They called a sign, or they came to my office, or maybe they saw it in the newspaper. That's it, right? That's all we had. Who cares? That's where they were. That's where I went. I made sure I had a lot of signs. I made sure I was in the newspaper. And I made sure that at the time I'd meet them at the office or whatever drive-by. That's how it was. Then it shifts. Then AOL gets born. And remember, you got mail. Then email became a thing. And then people paid attention to email. People paid attention to online at the 56K baud modems dialing in, if you remember those, right? That's where it went. So all I want you to understand is, if you're in the business of marketing homes and connecting to people, you have to be where they are, right? Why do you go to the mall? For what? Because what's there? Everything you think you want is there, or at least 5 of the things I want is there. It's convenience. The majority is there. Not everyone goes to the mall, but the majority does. Where does the majority of your consumers today that you want to market homes, where do they spend most of their time? On mobile, on social media, on Facebook, online. That's where they're spending some of their time. They also still spend their time at Starbucks and going to get a bagel in the morning, or going to get their dry cleaning, or taking their daughter to dance class. They still do that. You just have to be where they are. Guess what? 3 to 5 years, they're going to keep moving somewhere else, with or without you. And I want you to really understand that. Like, you could not do any of this stuff we talk about today. It's not impacting me. Just understand that if you don't shift where the consumer goes, they will go without you. And you've had that experience. For those that have been in the business, know they may not be the most loyal sometimes because they want what they want when they want it. How many of you used to have a BlackBerry? Right? One of the best devices in the world. I loved my BlackBerry. BlackBerry, we didn't want to give up what? Why didn't we want to give up that BlackBerry initially? What did we love about it? The buttons, keyboard, right? It had a real keyboard. Oh, I'm never going to use something without a keyboard. I need the keyboard, right? What happened to BlackBerry? Think about it. The consumer, us, other people, wanted something more visual. Do you remember trying to take a BlackBerry and zoom in on a photo, or look at a photo on a BlackBerry? Terrible. You hit that little plus button. It's just a bunch of pixelation thing, and you're trying to move it. It doesn't want to move. We wanted to see a photo really pretty. We wanted visual content, prettier stuff. They didn't deliver it. We wanted stuff that was a little faster. They said, we're going to keep doing it our way. We like what we have. Awesome. How'd that work out for you? Right? Like, they had an amazing product. They just didn't want to give the consumer what they wanted. And the consumer said, I get it, but I really want this. We're going to go buy that. And that's when iPhone and Androids and all that stuff was born. And it's a shame, because they were top of the world, then went to bottom for one reason. They didn't shift fast enough or with the consumer. So when I talk about shifting fast, you need to shift. Markets change. Great. Today, what's more valuable, a good listing or a good buyer? Whatever, good listing? Who's market? Where you at? Good listing? In your market, right? Listing inventory tight in your market?
Yeah, listings will bring you buyers.
Listings will bring you buyers. Fantastic. Exactly. So if I got a good buyer or a good listing, which one you want? Good listing. Great. Go get more good listings. You should always have good listings. I don't care what market you're in. Good listings, priced right, control the market. Control your buyers. And remember, that was that L word I said before, we said over here, that word of leverage. You get leverage, opportunities to market yourself, brand yourself, promote yourself and your brand. Have the reason to go do a virtual tour. Have the reason to have something up on Zillow. Have a reason to have content and product out there on social. And without it, you're chasing buyers. And last time I checked, sitting in the office doesn't really get a lot of that. You got to go out and find the people, right? So let's talk about social prospecting for a second. What the heck does that even mean? For those who may have saw my social session last time, but I want to make sure this is very clear. Social media has become not only one of the most valuable products for connecting, it's also become one of the most addictive. Why? Why are we so connected? Why are we using so much? I want you to understand the reason first. Then once you understand the reason, you'll know from a marketing play. Answer why. Just blur it out. Why are we so addicted to social? It's instant, right? It's now.
It's free.
Free, amazing, right? Free is good. That's why we're all on it, right? What else? Viral. Unpredictable. Connected what? Connected with people you haven't seen in years, right? Think about how long ago you graduated. You haven't seen those people in years. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, there's so-and-so. There's my aunts, there's my uncles, there's my cousins. First of all, think about this. Take away social media for a second. All of it. Take it all away. Gone, right? How else would you be in touch with those people on a day-to-day visual basis? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Email or regular mail or a phone call. And a phone call still works, by the way. Hasn't changed. But you wouldn't be able to connect and see. Here's where social media adds the big value to real estate agents that we don't look at. And I'm going to show you my version of this, but the one thing that gives me attention is 99% of the people that buy and sell real estate, usually real estate transactions happen wrapped around a life event. Life events dictate real estate. I got married, I got divorced. I have one child, I got 3 now. I grew out, I grew up, whatever it is, up, down. How many times, especially like around the June or July or probably May and June time frame, life events. My last kid's graduating. They're heading out the door. We got this big 4-bedroom house now, and the last one's out. Ding, 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 ding. You think they want to stay in a 4-bed, 2.5-bath colonial with 2 people and high taxes? Isn't it good to know that? Would that be like a good alert? Hey, last kid's out of the house. I probably should be talking to them. What do you think people on social media talk about? Life events. We just have to listen better. We have to pay attention more. Sometimes we make it too timely and we just kill time. We kill time. The FOMO effect, fear of missing out. Oh, what's this one doing? Oh, this one's got a magical life. Oh, this one's got a magical life, and my life's not that good. We all want to look at everyone's lives through ours. And everyone's life has a better life sometimes. Not true. There's a lot of fakehood to that too. The number one reason, as far as I'm concerned, is why social. Why is my thing not working? There we go. Emotion. It's an emotional play. It's an emotional marketing platform. And that's how they've got us sucked in. And I'm going to use the word addicted in some cases. And it might not be you, but on a big scale, it becomes an addiction. It's like me saying, give me your mobile phone, you don't get it back ever. How many of you would freak out? Just freak out. It sounds even like, yeah. I used to do this thing years ago. I won't do it now because it'd be worse. There were sessions I did in small masterminds. I would say something like that. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of funny, isn't it? Show me what kind of phone you got. Back when like iPhones were coming out and Androids. Put your phone up. What do you got? Awesome. All of you, bring it up. Set it out here on the counter. I used to do this live back in the early, when phones were really just becoming that addiction. And I used to watch them. They think I was joking. No. Get out of your seat, bring it up here, and put it here. And I would watch them. Some of them would set it down with the face down. Some would make sure that in case it's vibrating, and they would leave it. Some wouldn't want it to touch another person's phone. They put it over there. Like it was this whole strategy. And then I watched them sit back down. And I just stood here and continued my session. And then I'd walk over here. And you know how many eyeballs stayed over there? Looked at they just had the phone. Is my phone vibrating? Is that mine blinking? What's the alert? Is that an alert? It becomes an addiction, right? So because that happens, it's an emotional play. Here's how I can prove it's an emotional play. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. After you make a post online, good, bad, and different, whatever it is, what do you do after you make that post 90 seconds later? All of you. You do what? You're going back to check. Checking for what? You're checking for something. Is that an emotional response? That's one of the biggest. You're looking for something. You're looking for acceptance. Validation. You want to be heard. Then you go back 2 minutes later, there's still not a like, a comment, or anything. And you're like, is Facebook down? Like, you're hitting that refresh button like a mad woman because, should I delete it? Maybe I should delete it. Was it appropriate? Was it not appropriate? Did I piss people off? Like, you're going through this whole crazy because it's looking for something. That's emotional. When you have emotional marketing, now you have to understand it has power. Not just on us, but power of how people connect to it. So emotional marketing. That being said, when you get engagement, you get people talking to you. So there's some people now that are in the younger generation. If they don't get 100 likes on Instagram, like they want to jump off the bridge. Like it's the end of the world. Because they didn't get at least 100. It changes the mindset. And you know sometimes our mindset, how it is in our business. For the record, just so you know, people talk about being motivated. Motivation doesn't work. Motivation works for short time periods. It doesn't. You're excited about something, you're motivated. Hey, 3 hours, you get a cup of coffee in, you're all fired up, then a deal falls apart. You're like, oh crap, the world's coming to an end. Why am I in this business? And you start moping around. We've got to learn how to program ourselves to be more consistent. It's good to be up and motivated, but it's just short term. We've got to program our brains to do the activities that make the most sense in our world. Social media is going to get you on an emotional high or low. Right? Somebody makes this post. Oh, so-and-so. Oh, my God, so-and-so died. Oh, I can't believe it. I just had a friend of mine, 49, just died the other day. That didn't put me in a good mood. Not at all. It was terrible. But that's part of my stream. I mean, obviously, I learned about it. I found out about it. And I will deal with it. But it wasn't like something that motivated me. But it was not a distraction. Something I had to find out about. Sometimes that's the only way you're going to find out. So how do you control your time frames and your methods and your mindset with all this buzzing in our brains? Because sometimes, that look, it could be too much. The ones that are laughing know that look more than most. Right? When do you stop? Look at the faces. You can just see their faces. Like, right? I know that feeling myself. But how many of you 9, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight, jamming away? Right? Just talking. You can't put it down. It's the way it changes. So I want to talk about real quick a couple ways you can listen better. How do you listen a little bit better? We talk a lot. But if I could listen for those life events, listen to those people talking, listen to what people are saying, it's valuable information. So to kind of give you that, everyone and most of us are connected to probably Facebook groups. That's not a big secret, not a magic thing. However, are you in the right groups? Are you in the ones that matter? Meaning, if you haven't seen all of the local micro groups that are in your town, in your core area, where your neighbors are actually talking, not just your neighbors, the next set of neighbors, the next subdivision over, the next part of town, and they're all talking. Not only are they talking, are you talking to them? Are you helping them? Are you giving them value? So let me give you some examples. I belong to a lot of groups. Some across the country, some across the world, some are on marketing ideas, some on sales ideas. But in real estate, we have to think about how the opportunity lies. In my market, I've got some really, and I live in rural Sussex County, New Jersey, which I love dearly out there. It's a beautiful country. But it's even more rural and widespread to get a hold of consumers. Like door knocking, it take you a little while to knock on some doors, right? As long as the horse doesn't chase you and the cow doesn't run you off a little bit, you go down to the next house. However, these are real live groups. Inside Frieden is a group in my town right now. People are like, where the heck's Frieden, New Jersey? It's a town I live in. There's thousands of people there. There's 1,000 or 800 some odd people in that group. You have to live in Frieden to be in the group. It's a closed group. Where else would I have the availability to listen, hear, or talk, or even know people, 800 people in one group talking about things happening in the Frieden area? That's crazy. And it doesn't have to be, it's not like, hey, I got an important question. It's like, hey, I lost my cat today. Anybody see a cat? Or, hey, you know what? I lost power. I need a generator. Anybody got a recommendation for a good plumber? Anybody know where I can get my flat tire fixed or something? Like, whatever. Who cares? Where else would I get a chance to be able to see, hear, talk to that many people without leaving my seat? It's important. Now, it doesn't mean you jam real estate down their throats. Like, oh, I'm a real estate agent. No. But you could drizzle it in. For example, someone needs help with, I don't know, the generator issue or whatever. We had somebody that needed help. A tree came down. She was an elderly woman. She needed some help, someone putting the fence back up for her. Anybody want to volunteer? Sure. But, you know, how would I drizzle real estate in? Hey, Mary, you know what? I know where you live over there. I have an open house 1 to 4 today. It's Sunday. As soon as I'm done with my open house, I'll grab my signs and I'll shoot over to you. Help you out. I just told you I'm in real estate without telling you I'm in real estate. You know what? I got a few buyers looking at homes today. I'm going to be only a few hours. If it's okay, I'll be by around 3 o'clock. Right? Covert marketing. I don't want to jam their stuff. You know, if someone says, hey, I'm looking for a plumber. I see recommendation stuff all the time. Well, if you're in this business and don't have your preferred vendors, shame. We should. Relationships with the vendors. You know what? Hey, Mary, you know, I'm in the real estate business. I work with a lot of buyers that need vendors. I'll share with you guys my whole list of preferred vendors that I use for my real estate clients. Here you go. Free, value. Then guess what? When Mary gets that list, oh, hey, can I get a copy of that too? Oh, that's awesome. Like, all live in the same town. I haven't left the town yet. Why aren't we paying attention to that? Here's the other one. The title of the page. Happenings in Newton, Stillwater, Frieden, and Sandiston. And for those who don't know, those 4 towns that I sell a lot of real estate in all go to the one high school. So regional high school, those towns all serve that high school. Another full group talking about all that stuff. Another group searched, typed in my town, Sussex County, typed in my towns, find me groups. Sussex County Local Businesses has a group. There's only like 30 or 40 business owners in that group. Who cares? 30, 40 business owners work in the towns, looking for help. Hey, I saw a post a couple weeks ago. Hey, I'm looking for a good place to print flyers other than Staples. Who's got an idea? Or, hey, what's a good print software to design so-and-so? They're all looking for help, collaboration. Do you know how important it is to know a local business owner in your town? How many people they know that walk through their doors, that live in your towns, of the homes you want to sell? And they're all there looking for help, talking, giving advice, and you should be part of it. Give value first. Don't ask them for any business until you're valuable enough for them to give you a referral. But that's how I'd be doing. This is real estate, hashtag, you know, today's digital world. This is marketing today. It's still, you still go shake hands with people belly to belly all day long. But this is where they're talking and their eyeballs are, so pay attention here too, right? It's simple, and this costs you nothing. No cost. Pay attention and listen, right? Next, you have a business page. Facebook business page. If I asked you the question, do you get more engagement and activity on your personal page or your business page? Answer is 99.9% the same no matter what part of the country I ask that in. I know the answer. The question I have for you is, why?
Because it's about relationships.
But their personal is about relationships, right? And you're sharing that kind of stuff there.
Right, and once you build that, they'll inquire or link to your business page from your personal page.
That's right. Answer this question. Would your consumers or my consumers, my public audience, would they be more excited and would I get more engagement of me posting a picture with my 7-year-old in a little lacrosse outfit on a Saturday hanging out and teaching them lacrosse, or me going, hey, here's my new listing on my business page? Which one gets more attention? The personal one, right? Why? They want to know I'm a dad. They like to see that I'm human. They think it's cute. Whatever it is, my job is to get their attention, build trust, and like. Besides our real estate uniforms, we are people. We have families. We have lives. They want to see that because that's where like and trust is built. So when we're like, oh, I don't want to share my personal life. Okay, don't. But those who are going to get the consumer's attention may take the business from you. Like, I can't help that. I'm just telling you how it is. So the problem with Facebook business pages is that you guys are doing what the definition of insanity is. You guys are posting stuff on your business page, getting little to no results, and doing it again every day, or every week, or every month, going, I'm getting no results here, but I was told I got to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway. And maybe one day it'll change. Has it changed yet? Has your business page magically blew up with activity? And if you do, I'm sure there's a few that have really awesome ones. I'm excited. Keep that going. But if you have one that's not doing anything for you or doing anything magical, two choices. Stop it. You don't need to do it. Or B, make it worth your while where you're going to get some results out of it. That's like me saying, hey, go spend $1,000 on Zillow a month. And you get no leads, no listings, nothing out of it. How long do you want to do it for? If you get results, you get leads, you convert them, hey, I'll do this all day long. Why are we spending our time doing things that aren't working? No one says by rules you have to have one that sits there and does nothing. So I'll give you a few ideas of ways to either try and get it to be more engaging or not so much. Now there is a value of having a business page. You get found on Google. You can get Facebook reviews. That also comes up in search. So if someone's searching you and your Facebook page has some reviews, it'll be right there. Really valuable parts. So either go get some reviews, make your page worthy of content that's valuable to the consumer. They don't need to see your new listing there. They don't get up in the morning going, I'm going to go to that Jeff Lobb guy's page because he might have put up a new listing. They just go to Zillow or your website or Realtor.com or someplace and search all of them. So your new listing sometimes, not saying you won't get action from it, but no one really cares. Why would they go to your page? So let's think about some things and ideas. And these aren't like all perfect pages, but I want you to think about the concept. Create a page that a consumer would have interest in, or somebody of, let's call it that stream, right? You're talking about investments. If I was an investor in Tampa, I don't want to go to the Jeff Lobb real estate guy's page, but if there was a page that was called Tampa Real Estate Investments, you might have my attention. Find new investors, ways to flip properties, what contractors they're using, where they get the loans and mortgages from, like a resource to talk to people about that. I'd be interested in that if I was an investor in that market. So I don't care if it's 100 people or 200 people. Is that a good group to have a core stream around? Sure. It's better than my page that's doing nothing, right? Another idea. Very local here. You guys know some of this. 365 Cranford Westfield. She's right here in our market. Yeah, right here in your market. Now, no perfect page in the world, but it's community-based on being the core of what's happening 365 days in those two towns. What is going on? What's the scoop? What's the happenings in those two towns? Now, there's pros and cons to this. What would be something that triggers? Now, I'll share with you a story happened to me. I made some mistakes. One of the biggest ones I made is we used to all tout the area we served. So in my world, Sussex County is a county. It's pretty wide. 20 minutes away, a little 30 minutes away, is called Warren County, right? So my stuff used to say serving all of Sussex County. That's what we just said, right? Well, I've had buyers, I'm working with buyers. All of a sudden they fall off the face of the earth, they don't call me back, whatever. They disappeared. Showed up properties weekend. See them about 8 months later at Quick Checker, whatever it was. Oh my God, hey, how's it going? Hey, good to see you again. I almost forgot their names, like you're trying to remember, like, oh, you want to say, where the heck did you go? You left me hanging, you didn't call me back. Can't say that. Oh, we just bought a house. Hey, we're just up. What? What? You just bought a, oh yeah, it's down in Warren County, we went a little further south. Where? Warren County. 20 minutes from me. Like, I didn't want to say that, but could I go sell 20 minutes away? Yes, I could. They just assumed I didn't go there. It was too far. I didn't know you went there. Okay, guess what? Lesson learned. Don't box myself into a town or area, because I would have. It's my choice to go where I want to go, right? There were times I had a listing, I had a client that was going to move from Perth Amboy. You know where Perth Amboy is, right? You're in Jersey, right? Up to Sussex County. Well, he's like, I'd really prefer, he goes, be honest, I love how you're working with the buyers. Would you be so kind to drive down there and take our listing? Uh-huh, I will. I could do that. It was a condo, we could sell it, no big deal. Like, it was my choice, because I didn't box myself into, nah, I'm not going down there. Of course I will. For that customer, I would. So we boxed ourselves. So, I mean, this young lady here doesn't really care. She owns that market in certain areas, and some people don't care, but just be careful how you box yourself, or be broad enough to make sure you don't put out the wrong message. Then I run to this guy. Some of you know, maybe not. You guys know Gary Vee? Anybody know Gary Vee? Okay? And if you don't, just, you know, a little warning. He can be a little bit vocal with his language sometimes. Some of them love him dearly. I had the pleasure of speaking at his conference last year in Miami. He did a real estate conference called Agent 2021. It's actually happening this week as we speak right now in Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium. And I spoke last year at one of his sessions. He brought me in. I was invited by his team to go talk. But he said something that set off a methodology that I was doing, that he said it differently than I did. So this was in 2016 at Inman in San Francisco. And I was fortunate enough to sit inside stage and coincidentally next to his videographer, D-Rock, sitting next to me with the video, just the setup right here. And D-Rock didn't pay no mind to me, he didn't care. But when Gary got up there was talking about, and he said something, but if you want to be connected and really own the market, like, you know what it means to own that market. You're that person. You're that one that the signs are there. We know you're all over the place. He says you need to become the digital mayor of your market. And when I heard the term digital mayor, I knew what it meant. I used to have some similar marketing practices before that, but some people defined it different ways. If I said to you, become the digital mayor of your town or market, what does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah. Wait, where is that? You own the digital space of that area. You're the go-to guy or gal. That you're the one that we see.
Every time you open your phone, that's the first thing that pops up.
Right. I see you all over the place. It's the same thing as me having those 6 signs times 10 listings for each listing, and I got 60 signs on the street. I see you everywhere. Today's world, the digital mayor. Today's world, that when I go to Facebook, you're there. When I go to somewhere else, you're there. When I go to another platform, your ads are there. It's that digital. So here's how this transformed some things. I said, you know, I was doing some of this stuff just pre-Facebook. I don't want to date myself, but using Facebook for the same exact thing, just today's marketing. So what happened was, I'll share you my story. So before Facebook was born, I had to come to a realization of how else am I going to prospect my farm areas, right? We talked about the farm areas. How do we find each other? So obviously knocking on doors pre-technology was one of the sources. I didn't love it. I did it. And remember, I did it in like a not so pretty gold jacket. Back then it was an ugly mustard gold. Today, much nicer. They've done a nicer job. But it was that gold like way back then. Right? But you saw me coming down the street. You knew who I was, right? I just didn't love the door knocking, but it works. So I said, who else can I go talk to that would be, like, you think about how do I manage my time? What if I got to talk to one person that knew a lot more people versus one-on-one? So I chose to go start marketing myself to the local businesses in the towns that served my clients. Remember that overhead I showed you, that geographical map? I said, there's my farm area. Who and where do they go before work, during work? Where are they going on weekends that I need to go talk to? Who do I got to talk to? So if you thought about it in your market, where do they go before work? In your town and community, they're being served by. Where do they go? Dunkin' Donuts, coffee shops, bagel stores, right? Delis. Lunchtime, where do they go? Where do they go after work? Where do they take their kids on weekends? Where are those places my customers are being served? So the concept came around, again, pre-Facebook, but I would do it with Facebook the second, is what if I had a page instead of real estate, instead of facebook.com/Jeff Lobb, which no one cares about, I had a facebook.com/living in Sussex County, or the best of Sussex County, or the best of Scotch Plains, living in Union County, whatever the theme. Living in or best of were my favorites. Because to me, when I say best of, I'm elevating you. It's an elevation. Because here's what happens. Here's how my prospecting calls would work. Because we have to find ways to work and prospect. So if I could meet an owner of a business and build some rapport, would that be good for me to build a relationship possibly and get to know their sphere and their group of people? And how many other business owners do they know? You know what I'm talking about, right? This is where we started sharing ideas almost a year ago. So here'd be my script. Would you mind playing like just a pizzeria owner for me? You don't have to do much, but what's your first name? MJ? MJ. Awesome. So MJ. So MJ she's the owner of the pizzeria. Don't walk in during like business hours where they're crazy and got lines. But I know when they have lines, most of them are my customers that live in the homes that I want to sell. That's the good news. So hey MJ, Jeff Lobb, with the Culture State. How you doing? Good. Hey, listen, I know you're busy. I put together a Facebook page that's talking about all of the best parts of Scotch Plains. I live in the area, I sell a lot of real estate in the area, and we want to highlight some of the best places. I love what you guys have been doing with pizza and cannolis and stuff. I've been eating here for a while. Could I, and would you mind if I promoted you guys to all my real estate clients so that we can try and get more traffic to you? And they're always asking me for a new place to go to. I would love to promote you on my best of page. Would you be okay with that? Of course. Okay. Cool. Great. So what does that really mean? What am I doing? What is this? I'm offering value, right?
Exchange of advertising?
No, I don't want to ask for anything. It's not a bad idea. Today's world, I don't want to ask anything. Right now I don't. Right now I don't. I want to create a relationship. I want her to know that I'm willing to help her. I have a best of page. I think you're really good. I want to highlight you. And quite frankly, we're always getting people to say, oh, who do you recommend for this? I need a catering event. Who do you recommend? I like so-and-so. So guess what? I get to meet her, right? I take my phone out. Let me take a couple pictures. I'll do a little thing on my blog. I'll post some stuff on Facebook for you. Then I want you to share it because it's going to be a cool thing I'll write up about you guys. And you could share it to your friends and clients and do that kind of stuff. It'll almost be like a third-party validation, right? How many people do you think she knows?
Well, other people you're trying to reach.
Right. Just about everybody.
So you're just promoting yourself too, of course.
Of course, but I want to help you first. I'm not asking you to put my business cards on the counter. I'm not asking you to, hey, you got to go do this. So I'll come in and do some stuff. Then I'll pop back a week or two later. I'm in the area. I'm the community. Better than sitting in my office. I'll come back and I'll bring a client to lunch. Hey, this is MJ. I just met MJ. Hey, MJ, meet a new attorney I'm working with. Hey, great. We talk. I know you're busy. I just want to say, hi, MJ. How's it going? Little high five. Good. How you doing? Good. It's good to see you're busy. Pop in and out. Then you take another picture of the place. You do another post. Hey, I was popping in. Look how busy this place is. My God, if you haven't had lunch at MJ's, you got to go see MJ down there, right? It's a relationship. I don't want to ask ever until I've earned it, right? Two things to prove that. Gary put out a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, okay? To give you the 3-second version of it, jab, jab, jab is give value, give value, give value before I ever ask you for business or an exchange of business. I don't want to ask you yet. I have to earn it. Secondly, here's real proof. Our two guys from Family First sitting back here today, right? Transparency. They're not asking you for business today. I'm not going to ask you for their mortgage business today. Not happening. These are jabs. I'm going to give you value. I'm going to give you more value. I'll come back again in 6 months, a year. Whenever I get invited back for these guys, they're picking up the tab for me to come in, give value, give value. They would just eventually want maybe the chance to earn the business. If they've earned it and done enough for you, you might give in return, right? So what really happens? True transparency was I get to meet this person, things happen. Next thing you know, in the real world, what happened was I got to know this couple, and it was a husband and wife, got to know them on a real basis. And then next thing you know, every time I walk in there, it was, hey, my real estate guy's here. Hey, come on, come around back. Come around. You don't wait in line. Come back here. Get some food. What do you want? Help him out. He's my real estate, like a really wiry guy. Help him out. I was the real estate guy now. Do you know how many other real estate agents they know? Right? Everyone knows a few other agents. Then they got the contract to do all the catering and all the facilities for the baseball league in town. Hey, comes to me. Want to do some joint marketing? I got this cool opportunity, all the baseball stuff. It'd be good for maybe both of us. We'll do a banner, put some stuff out. Yeah, what's it going to cost? A couple $100. Okay, let's do that. I've got opportunities coming to me. Okay, I didn't get instant listings or instant this or that. It started a relationship of who they know. Oh, hey, you know what? I got 2 guys that are looking for a condo. Do you sell condos? Yeah, I sell condos. Great. I got 2 guys that work with me. They're getting out of rentals. I'll come by after. Okay, good. I'll do that. See how that works? It starts with that. Let me tell you this. If I took my real estate license, took it out of referral, put it right now in your office, and I don't know anybody in Scotch Plains. I grew up in Roseville Park, but I haven't been here in years. Could I go do that in your town right now and potentially build relationships? Right? I could do that with anybody. You could take me to a different state and go, Jeff, start selling real estate. Okay, great. Let me figure out here, what farm area do I want? Who's got the most churn? Go through all the business planning I would normally go through. Great, I picked this area. I like this area. Here's why. Great. Who serves that area? Let me figure out who I'm going to go talk to. We all decided that if I have a database of 40 people and it goes to 200 people, my business is going to grow. I'm building my database too. I'm building relationships. I'm not asking for business. Not yet. When I've earned it, right? Think about it. So here's some examples. These are extremes now. It can start off really small. I've got clients that simply did it with, hey, let's take out an iPhone. What if I did that with MJ with 30 other businesses? Who cares? You should know them anyway, right? You take out your phone. You shoot a little video clip. It's not hard to, and if you think, I mean, this is an amazing feature to have, this kind of value in this office, to have someone that knows how to do this stuff, and a media person, an owner that buys into doing video, fabulous. But it doesn't have to be, if you don't have that opportunity yet, or you don't take advantage of it yet, even if that is available, I'm okay doing this. Hey, it's me and MJ, we're down here, and I could just do this. Does it matter if my hand shakes a little bit, or I got like, dough and flour on me or something? Does it really matter?
It's real.
It's real. This sometimes gets more value than sometimes professional shot videos. And quite frankly, my job is to highlight and elevate people. I have a Facebook business page that I can do that on that's probably better than what I'm doing now. At what cost? What's it costing you? Other than your time, which is what you should be doing anyway, the page is nothing. I used to have to pay for my own website, for crying out loud. That's free. So we can't say I've got nothing to do. We always have something to do. I'm giving you the ideas of what people are doing. The choice is going to be, are you going to go out and do it? And then if you're going to do it, are you going to do it really well, or are you going to do it once a week and never go back? That's not how real estate works, right? That is becoming the digital mayor times 10, times 20. Who else can I go do a little video with? Who else can I go take a photo with? So I'll give you a couple extremes. So it can be done really simple. A photo and an iPhone or Android device. A 30-second video clip where you're having that lunch and who you're with. Make sure you tell them, hey, cool, I'm going to put this on your page. Share it with your group and friends and family. Because do you think they want to build their page too? How well do you think their Facebook page is doing? Right? They need help. So it was a great source. Quick question, yes.
Do you think there's such a thing as too much? Because sometimes some people post constantly all the time, not necessarily interesting content, and I feel like I tune them out because it's just too much.
Yes. Sure, there's
Yeah.
too much. Just like
Too
just
much,
like
too
spam.
much Facebook Lives, too much,
Sure. It has to be something of value. Now there's a balance to it. There's no right or wrong. Like anything else. You don't want to do too much to an extreme. But if it's valuable enough, doing it consistently is the number one thing. Consistency. Most people don't have that problem of too much, and the ones that do are just posting just stuff. There are people that annoy me too. And I'm sure I might even annoy a few people. It's okay. Find my core. To me, I'm looking at who's my core, my market, that I need to provide value to. Think about who's going to appreciate this and watch this or pay attention to this. Other than that, you got to block the rest out. There's a lot of noise, right? A lot of noise. Was that a question? Yeah.
Grant Cardone
or-
said that one time he was posting like 3 times. Somebody was complaining to him. And he said, oh, you're complaining too much. You know what? Let's do it 6 times. So he kept,
It depends. Yeah, it depends on your style and what's getting the most. Now, if my audience was all loving it and other people are annoyed, I wouldn't care. Who's my tribe? Who's my core market area? That's who your focus is on. So here's an example of, let's go extreme for a little bit, because it can be done really simple. This is a gentleman that owns a broker. He's a broker owner. If he didn't say he was a broker owner, you wouldn't know he was in real estate based on what you're going to hear and see. And I'll only play a small snippet of it. But just to understand that becoming the digital mayor kind of thing is this to the extreme, right?
in downtown Fresno. Today, I'm trying barbecue. And let's face it, we're Fresno, so this is Tri-Tip. Today, I have the treat of trying the People's Choice of the Tri-Tip Throwdown, just the tip. Let's do this. I'm Jason Ferris, owner of Fres Yes Realty, and I've lived in Fresno all my life. Join me as I visit some of the best food spots 559 has to offer. This is Fresno Flavor. Award-winning tri-tip is just the tip of the iceberg. Smoked turkey, pulled pork, and pastrami bring the heat for meat lovers of all types. These delicious meats, along with their sides and salads, are all made from scratch every day. Owner Mariah serves her lunchtime regulars, walk-in and delivery customers, competition-ready barbecue throughout the work week. I'm excited to grill her and learn more about this awesome establishment. Mariah, thank you so much for allowing me to come in today. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited too, so.
Just the tip. Where did the name come from? Give us some little history.
So the previous owners, they had the building on a visitor on Tuolumne, and so it was kind of the tip of a triangle.
So he's going to do an interview with her. Little, just how did this start? What's your favorite meal? Would you like to? How do you know? And I got to cut it short just for time purposes. But think about that a second. If he didn't say he was from Fres Yes Realty and the broker owner, would you have even known? He didn't look like a realtor. Didn't have to be a real estate agent. Didn't have to be a broker. However, how many people do you think in that local market saw that video? How many people do you think she took it and shared it with as one of the best little marketing pieces ever? Because it's almost like not only validation, it's almost like someone doing HGTV for her. Now, from a video, some video experts that are in the room, most of that was good editing, right? So great editing. So it cost you some time for a video camera and some editing, but really for him, a little intro, sit down and ask a couple questions. The rest was magical editing. And you take that piece that lives on forever. And he's the real estate guy. He becomes the person when, I'm sure now if he's doing this once a week, think about it. Once a week, how many weeks in the year? 52. 52 pieces of content out there ongoing. Once a week, maybe he spends an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours shooting that.
Everybody knows it now.
You can't, he probably walks downtown, oh my God, you're the guy I see, you're that guy I see, you're that real estate guy that does all the food stuff. Oh my God, that one place you were at, they remember. Okay, that's an extreme. Doesn't have to be just food places though. To me, who do I think? This is a client of ours, Ecofine Properties. They're down in Jupiter, Florida. They've been doing some cool video stuff. It didn't start with video until they brought on their own video guy. It started off with an iPhone and just some people talking, doing some small interviews. But guess who they were talking to? Not just restaurants. They're talking to the dog walker. Like the young lady in the real estate market, she's like, I have this park by me, the dog walker. She has 6 or 8 dogs up and down all that. Do you know how many people a dog walker knows? If you have a dog walking business, could they always use a little help with promotion and marketing? And hey, I'm in real estate. I come across people all the time that have pets. I could refer you the business. Fabulous little tiny businesses. The karate studio. It's open 3 nights a week. That guy can use some help or gal needs some help. Sure. Right? That's where the people bring their children. Those types of places are the people that know most of the people you want. Go connect with them. This was, show you this guy knows, this was a one-on-one, so the task was, hey, Mr. You're a young real estate agent, good. Go find somebody local business you think has some good connect that you can help. Offer some help, do a little interview with them. And this guy has done a really good job. He's a solo entrepreneur. See if he has a decent contact book when you get done hearing a few things, and I'll cut it short, but think about him from who you might know.
Hey everyone out there, this is Brian Smalley with Ecofine Properties down here in sunny South Florida. I'm here with my good friend Sean Mosley with S&A Mobile Detailing. Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself. What got you into this business?
I started this business almost 10 years ago. I saw that there was a need for people who really have a desire for having their vehicles professionally auto detailed, their homes pressure cleaned, and they wanted the top-notch customer service, and that's what we love to provide to customers throughout Palm Beach County. We want to bring the best service, the best customer service, and to see the customer satisfied is what we desire. We do a wide range of things. We do automobiles, we do recreational vehicles, we do boats, we do planes, we clean homes, roofs, we do large contracts, big commercial vehicles. We also do tile and grout. We're going to expand to carpet cleaning soon. Back when I first started, I was young. I didn't really know too much about it. I did do a lot of studying of the understanding of what detailing really meant. Sure. And then I came across someone, as you all may know, his name is 50 Cent. And I did about 3 of his his vehicles down in his office down in Boca. They have a company called SMS Headphones, and he has some very nice exotic type of vehicles that I did so he can have them ready for a photo shoot. But I did tell a Ferrari 458 California edition. I did a Lamborghini Aventador, which is very nice. And I take pride in all of the work that I do. I don't...
Now, other than the feedback I gave them, with the video being a little bit longer than it should have been, maybe, but they'll trial and error. You think he's a good solo entrepreneur to know? Boats, planes, automobiles, some celebrity business. Like, I want to find a way to help him as a solo entrepreneur because he's going to connect with people. I don't know who he's going to talk to tomorrow that says, yeah, you're cleaning my plane, we're bouncing out of here, I'm selling my place in Miami or West Palm, and we're going to move to wherever. Hey, you need a good real estate agent. Like, that's the kind of mentality we've got to, because there becomes a loyalty between each other, helping each other out. So what happened by accident, and the most important part of this was, when this got done, this gentleman here was so excited about having this video done for him, he took it and shared it, not only his personal page, he tagged all of his friends, family, colleagues, and everything, tagged the universe. Probably more tagging that's even appropriate tagging, but guess what happened? It blew up. 123 shares in like the first, not even 24 hours. People sharing, people sharing, people sharing. Thousands of views getting watched in a real quick time frame. And now he uses it almost as a promotional piece of marketing with Brian from the real estate agent in the picture doing this as a value add. So these are things that not going to convert to a magical listing overnight or a magical buyer. It's the relationships that keep that stream coming in, right? The other thing I want to share with you is kind of a meme I had to put together because people will make the mistake. I've had people say, hey, Jeff, I saw that idea you had 6 or 7 months ago. I went out and did it. I got this community page. I built it up around this town. And I'll go take a look at it. So I'll look at it. And I'll see a page with some posts about the community and this new thing that opened and downtown parades. And then I look at it a little closer and go, so who are these people? And they're like, what do you mean? Do you like the page? I go, did you talk to any of the people? Well, no, I was posting about the town. I don't need you to post about the town. I could Google that. The purpose of this was meeting people like MJ and shaking their hand and getting to know them in relationship. It's not about making a post about your community. I could find that anywhere. The goal is the relationship and using that as the vehicle for me to talk to you and help nurture your business. So it's never about the post. It's about the people that are in that post. So guess what her task was from the next couple months? Every one of your posts, I want you to go back to. Introduce yourself. Say hello. Say, hey, I made a post about your business. I really love to support your business. We have a page called The Best of West Palm Beach or whatever it is. And I made, go prospect, right? So I made her go back and do the work. It's about the people in the post, right? Another way to take advantage of this, and I'll give you a few more tips, and I know in between, we saw just the tip, which is food, and I'm standing between you and food. So hang with me another minute or two. I got two more ideas. So another way to get that visibility, and I want to share with you a concept that's out there that may be misconceived a little bit, but it's a valuable proposition to put you in front of a lot of people, is retargeting. We don't take advantage of retargeting the way we should, and we misconstrue the opportunity of how do we retarget. So do you guys first know what retargeting is? Let me explain. You're shopping on Amazon for those pair of shoes. You said, hey, I like this pair, but I didn't buy them. What happens the next 3 months of your life? The shoes are following you everywhere. They're popping up on Amazon. They're popping up on, you're checking out the Weather Channel for the snow that's coming. You're checking out all this stuff. And it's following you. That used to be an expensive technology. However, today, it's available to you, and it's just, how do you use it? It's available to you at a really affordable price point. One of the sites I work with, and I use myself, is AdWorks. It's for real estate. Meaning, I could take a home or a marketing piece. It's designed and gets built for web, mobile, or Facebook, all three. But based on who I choose as a target audience, it will put my ad in front of them on major sites like the New York Times, CNN, ABC News. What's the value and perception of seeing Jeff Lobb, the real estate guy, on ABC News when your client's on there? First of all, if you wanted to be on ABC News' page right now, what would you do to do that? Could you even think about affording how that might work, right? But what's the perception when you're on the Weather Channel later tonight and there's that guy Jeff Lobb? And then you go to CNN to check out something and there's that guy Jeff Lobb again. And then you go to Facebook and there's that guy Jeff Lobb again. So it's perception, it's branding and marketing. It's like having the billboard, except now the billboard's going to follow you. However, it's not meant for lead generation. Let's be clear. It could generate some leads, but people expect. Here's what was happening, and these are some of the results I was getting. I was running an ad for some speaking opportunities at 49,000 views. I had 92 the day before. 119 people clicked on my site. I got 6 Facebook likes that particular week. Good numbers. But here's what an agent's going to go. Yeah, but I didn't get anything from it, so it didn't work. Wait a minute. I got 49,000 ad views, but because someone did, when you have the billboard up for $2,000 a month on Route whatever highway, on the Garden State Parkway, you think people are pulling over going, hey, I saw your billboard, I'm sitting in front of it, I want to list my house? They just see you every day, back and forth to work, back and forth to work, back and forth to work. Credibility, 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 and then one day you finally get that call from maybe Zillow or from your website or from whatever. They're like, oh yeah, I've been seeing you all over the place. They don't tell you it was from the billboard they drove by or the ads populating. So retargeting is a big branding play for perception and for building your business. However, there are a few strategies that I have that I've unboxed a little bit with the team at AdWorks saying, how else can I use this product to win some business? So follow me for a second. So they offer like 3 different product lines, or 3 different like categories of ways to use it. One of them is called Ads for Your Sphere, meaning my database of emails. I can have an email list of my past clients that I haven't talked to probably since I sold them the house. I could upload them into the system and have my ad populating on those people's devices and wherever they're searching on an ongoing basis. So now, think about it. Someone you sold the house to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, starts to see my ad, my marketing, another ad, all over on their searches, desktop, mobile, Facebook. It starts to bring back that top of mind consciousness when I normally haven't talked to them in a while. So it's starting to leverage whatever email address I put up. Now, it doesn't find every email address, but call it 60, 70, 80%. It will find them online and then target them. Think about that right now. Do TV commercials even have that ability? A television commercial just plays. At 1 o'clock, it's going to play. Whoever's in front of the TV, you're in front of the TV. I could target people by their email address and put my ad in front of them on devices and sites that are probably I could never get on in my life at a ridiculously low cost. That's one option. 2 is by zip code, which targets obviously like a zip code. You buy a zip code area. It's going to target people, let's say, buying or looking to be interested in real estate. You might say, okay, well, what's that mean? People that are searching on Zillow, people that are doing searches for mortgage calculators and moving trucks, or it puts you in front of people that have that data that's interested in the real estate space.
So, but when you're waiting on your return on your investment,
yes.
Where do you draw the line between giving up and flirting with the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing every day.
It's a great question. So, and if you haven't heard that, I'm mic'd up. He's like, where do you draw the line of waiting for that return? So you have to get that's a great one. I'm glad. I wish people would ask that question in all the sessions I do, because you're right. Where do I? First of all, most of the time you don't see the return directly because you don't even know where it came from. If I went on a listing appointment, their confidence in their head might be built because they've seen me for the last 6 months, and they may never tell me that. So sometimes I don't know. And the second thing is, and that's kind of the personality I am, is I don't wait for anything. I don't wait for just someone to go, well, I put the ad out, I'll just wait for the phone call. It's not how I do my business. We have to learn to hunt our business. So what I would do, and here's how I unboxed, for example, the AdWorks platform. So here's an idea. So ads for listings. Let me see if I have a sample. So let's just make believe this was the house. Okay? It's the home, it's your ad, it's your face, it's your number, it's your listing, whatever it is. And that's being advertised that day. Amazon, my consumers are seeing it on Amazon, and CNN, wherever it is. So while consumers see it, what happens with AdWorks is when you do the ads for listings, that listing will go out to obviously a certain core area, 16-mile radius, whatever it is, but they send you screenshots, like every day, every other day, of one of the major places it was visible on. It's like a full page, hey, your ad was seen on, like this, on Amazon or whatever it is, or on CNN. To me, I would have that one listing that goes out for how many months, right? Get the screenshots. I would take 4 screenshots of that wherever they sent me on really major websites. And I would take that on every opportunity of a listing appointment I ever went on. Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, not only do we have some of the great marketing offered at Culture Estates, however, we've got the power of taking your home and putting it on sites like ABC News, CNN. Don't tell them, here's an example of some of my clients now, and show them on your iPad. Here's some samples. When your homeowner starts to see that you have that power to put their home there, what's the perception? What's the value you add? Personally, besides the branding opportunity, myself, I would look at it as one of the best listing opportunities to close listings and beat my competition with. That's how I would use it, and that's not me waiting for it. Do I care if someone picked up the phone and called me? No. I know I have the billboard out. I know they're seeing it. I know they're seeing me, and I'm going to use it to win listings. I'll pay my $100 a month or whatever it is. I'm good. Because I know how to spin it and use it to my advantage. And secondly, when you do, and truth for the homeowner, when you do list their home, you put their email address in there, and they start seeing their home on those sites when they're searching around. Oh my God, there's my house and my agent. That's huge value with very low cost. So we misconstrue the opportunity of retargeting as a way to be in front of them consistently, but how do I use it as leverage to show a consumer how it helps them market their home? Make some sense? So to me, some of my favorites are ads for Sphere because I could target the exact group I want based on their email address, or ads for listings where I could take it and use it as an opportunity to go win listings by showing consumers that value of where we could put them. That help answer some of your questions on return? Yeah. Yours. So the question is, and I'll just repeat her question. So the question is, where are you getting these email addresses exactly for your Sphere? You provide them, your email addresses. So if you have 20, 30, 40, 50 emails from past customers or clients you've worked with, your database. It could be anybody's email address. You upload it into their platform, and it seeks out to find them online, and it drops some little technology marketing on it and starts to follow them with your advertising. So here's an example. Here's how I use it. So this ad here, one of the ways I use it. So let's say I wanted to get more speaking opportunities. Okay, who's my audience? So let's say real estate associations, just as an idea, right? 1,000 of them in the country. I get their email addresses or some of their email addresses of the marketing people. I upload them into the database of AdWorks. It'll then target them, and I run my speaker ad. Hey, so here's someone in Texas that's works for an association. Hey, there's this guy, Jeff Lobb. It says he's a speaker. Hey, there's this Jeff Lobb guy again. He's a speaker. Hey, there's this Jeff Lobb. Now all of a sudden, 3 months later, hey, we're sitting down. We need to pick our speakers for this year. And there's that Jeff Lobb guy again. This guy's been showing up on my, we should probably call this guy Jeff Lobb. That's the mentality of I target them. It's not hitting the whole association. It's hitting the people of email addresses I put up there. 70 or 80%. There's some people that might have a corporate email address it won't find. The better ones are like your Gmails, your Yahoos, whatever it is. But I upload them all. Right? So it's very strategic targeting. Good? All right, I have one little surprise for y'all. I'm going to leave you with a bonus. Let me get to the bonus. Some of you were here last time, but I want to make sure I share this with you. I don't think I had it last time. It's one of my favorite things to give you guys as a value, as a thank you for having me. And Family First helps with this as well. So bonus. We have really still a problem with bad photos. Right? And I show some funny examples of, like this I like to call my drive-by photo. Don't even have to get out of the car. I could just kind of snap it on the go, right? But do you have bad photos in your MLS and your marketing still in your area? Shocking, right? We have the best devices in the universe, and we still have bad photos. So there's been some solutions. I like to share this one. This one I think was in Louisiana. There's your in-ground pool right there, right? I'm not sure why they would want to show that, unless it was like to disclose, like, hey, don't go back there. Warning. But there's the magic. The last thing I want you guys to do is do work that's not your core business. I don't want you designing flyers. Okay, if you design flyers, stop. Family First and these guys have a marketing team, right? That will do them for you in HD quality and send them back to you for free, digitally. Nice. Like I use them for my marketing. They're that good, right? So don't stop designing stuff. It's too much time. Go prospect. If you're editing photos or editing video, stop that too. Like stop. Unless it's a hobby and you love it and it's like stress relief, God bless, go do it. But if you're doing it for your business, stop it, right? Because here's a better way to do it. So we've run into these guys. If you haven't seen them by now, you will. They've been around the country a few times already. Boggs Brownie. Met these guys. They're from Australia. They have a fantastic company. They take your photos or photo. It's got to be a decent photo. Can't give them crap. Good photo, but make it magical. Remember, in today's business, we used to talk about eye-catching content. You got to have eye-catching material. Eye-catching doesn't matter anymore. It has to be thumb-stopping. Your photo or photos, you have about 3 seconds of my time to stop me, right? I'm on Zillow. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You got about 3 seconds of my attention before I stop. And if you have a teenager or younger generation in your family or life, it's even faster. How they see it, I don't get it. It's going faster. So you have to have that first photo better stop me. These guys are the thumb stoppers as far as I'm concerned. What they do is they'll take a photo. Now, this doesn't replace your photography.